Looking for the best clothes steamers? Here I have made the list of the top 5 best clothes steamers in the market that are worth buying. Let's get started with the video. Number 5. Life Steamer is a little portable model that's good for steaming out wrinkles from clothes that have been packed in a suitcase. Weighing in at only 1.7 pounds, it's easy to use for several steamings at a time without tiring your hand. The Life tank has a 240 milliliter capacity, which gives about 14 minutes of steam. However, during our testing, the amount of steam lessened at the 11-minute mark. The steamer has 700 watts, so it took 2.5 minutes to heat up and start producing steam. The Life steam isn't very forceful, so it took us 7 minutes to steam a shirt. The finished shirt wasn't completely wrinkle-free, and it had water spots from the Life's frequent spitting. It comes with 2 brush attachments, which work better on clothing, but we still had to do over wrinkled areas several times. The Life is less expensive than other handheld steamers, but in the end, it just didn't produce enough steam to do the job. Number 4. At 1600 watts, the Enter DR8120X is a hefty powerhouse that produces a continuous gush of boiling hot steam. For such a big machine, it has a surprisingly small tank with a 6.76-ounce capacity, which delivers about 10 minutes of steam. It has a delicate setting and a turbo setting, which shoots out steam in full force, and enables you to steam wrinkles out of the surest and sturdiest fabrics. The Enter comes with a crease clip, brush, steam cover to protect fabrics from water impurities, and a nifty door hook for hanging the clothing you want to steam. All of this seems great, but the Enter has a few issues. First off, the steam is very hot, and when you're pulling down on a shirt, for example, to steam an especially wrinkled area, it's impossible to avoid getting your hands shot by a burst of the hot steam. It has a switch for the steamer to do continuous steam or steam bursts, but it slips too easily because it's located just beneath the trigger. The Enter has no automatic shut-off, it just simply stops when water runs out, and surprisingly, it has no power button, so to shut the unit off, you need to pull out the plug. Lastly, the Enter weighs a little over 3 pounds, so it's tiring to hold it for more than a few minutes. Number 3. Jiffy J2000 gets a standing ovation. Not only did the J2000 have the longest steam time at 100 minutes, but it steamed with more power than the rest. It performed well with all the fabrics, and it did it fast. Setup was incredibly easy, and it made the actual steaming an enjoyable process too. The price tag may be a bit higher than the others, but in terms of build quality, the Jiffy clearly stands out. The bare bones design might make it seem like it's missing something, but even without any attachments, the Jiffy didn't suffer in performance. In fact, its simplicity was welcomed after piecing together the extras that came with the others' brands. The design itself is extremely sturdy. The pole connected firmly into the base and stood over 5 feet tall, the tallest pole of all the machines, making steaming even more convenient. And if you need some attachments, its detailed handbook lists the many that are available, from crease tools to power converters. The J2000 steamed for a whopping 100 minutes. That basically means you can flip the Jiffy on along with your favorite movie, and the run time will be the same. We're hoping that you won't have that much work to do in one sitting, but if you do, the Jiffy's got your back. The extra steam time also allows for assurance that you won't have to rush while steaming and prolongs the time between refills. Dress shirts were steamed in about 4 minutes, while the silk dress required only 1 pass of the steamer to remove wrinkles. The steam head is fairly wide with 6 holes, which provided just the right amount of steaming power. It tackled the wool sweater with no issue and took on any garment with simplicity, getting the wrinkles out easily. The handle stayed cool while heating, a bonus for comfort level on an already well-designed machine. And when you need to move the machine around a bit, all 4 wheels roll easily. We didn't have to move it much when in use, but when it was time to wheel it away, the job was simple. The water chamber is clear, which lets you see how much water is left in the steam cycle. It's also designed with an effective carrying handle, which made transporting to and from the sink much less awkward than its competitors. If you don't like ironing and have lots of stuff to steam, the Jiffy might be the answer you're looking for. Number 2. The Jiffy steam handheld steamer provides almost as much power as the larger J2000 Jiffy steamer, but it did so in a compact unit. Unlike the other handheld models, the steam head is square, which provides more precision for going over corners of pockets and pressing into the fabric more effectively. And unlike the majority of the others, for a smaller unit, it packed a lot of power. First impressions on appearance aren't leaning in the steam's favor, but it grew on us. It sort of looks like a stylized coffee pot. Unlike the others, it doesn't have a max fill line for the water. You just fill the chamber all the way up, which is nice and simple. Also, unlike the others, it doesn't have a power switch but turns on immediately when plugged in. This adds to the simplicity of the device, but if you ever want to turn it on and off during the steaming time, it's slightly more cumbersome to have to unplug the cord rather than flipping a switch. This can be a good way to make sure you just unplug it and don't accidentally leave a unit on while plugged in. User reviews mention their Jiffy steamers lasted for years, mainly due to their sturdy design. With other steamers set to break down after a year or two, this slightly more expensive model would eventually pay for itself. The steamer maneuvered very well, with no danger of leaking when moved around the garments. With a total steam time of nearly 20 minutes, it blows the other steamers out of the water. Especially if you're just doing touch-ups while traveling, the steam time being one step above the rest means you'll have more time to perfect the look of the clothes. The steam heats up in 2 minutes and 20 seconds, and when it does it's fairly calm and doesn't shake from the bubbling inside the chamber. For a total of 19 minutes, it steamed much longer than the rest of the other handheld steamers. In particular, it straightened out wrinkly shirt pockets quickly, a task that was difficult for most of the steamers we tested. Drapes were steamed with ease and the silk items were wrinkle-free after just one pass. While it is a little on the pricier end in the handheld category, it's a solid machine all around that warrants the price. At £3, it's light for travel. It's slightly bigger than some of the other options, but its quality makes up for where it lacks in compactness. Overall, this should prove to be a long-lasting, effective choice for any time you need to steam either on the go or at home. Number 1. Of the clothes steamers that we tested for this 2021 update, we preferred the Biotural over the Hilifan Rowenta. The Biotural has a removable fill tank that can hold 8.79 ounces, 259.95 milliliters, the largest of the other two, and during testing, the steam lasted a good 12 minutes before sputtering out. Like other steamers we previously tested, this handheld steamer resembles a sci-fi laser gun and weighs 2 pounds, which we felt was just comfortable enough to hold for long stretches of time. At 1200 watts, the Biotural was the fastest in heating up, 30 seconds, and has a trigger lock for controlling continuous steam or steam bursts. The produced steam was forceful and steamed out a wrinkled shirt in 5 minutes and a sheer silk scarf in 5 seconds. The Biotural handheld steamer has a lot of power for a 2-pound unit. With features like automatic shut-off and a trigger lock to control steam output, the Biotural can steam out wrinkles in a few minutes. The Biotural has a feature that you would think the Hilifan Rowenta should have, but don't, is an automatic shut-off after 8 minutes of inactivity, which prevents the unit from burning if you leave it unattended. The Biotural comes with 3 attachments, a brush tool, a crease clip, and a lint brush. The brush tool works well in steaming shirts, and the lint brush is great for lifting lint or pet hair from suits and pants while steaming at the same time. The crease clip is a bit awkward to attach, and it really doesn't work since you can only run a couple of inches of pant leg at a time. In our mind, it's a lot easier using an iron for creasing pants. The crease clip is a minor quibble because otherwise, the reasonably priced Biotrol is a terrific handheld clothes steamer you should consider purchasing. Thanks for watching, guys. I hope this video helped you. If you found this video useful, please don't forget to like, comment and subscribe so you don't miss anything. We'll see you next time.